Today's movie review is about Burn After Reading, the latest film from the Cohen Brothers, whose last film, No Country for Old Men, ended up winning some Oscar awards. However, it's uncertain if this particular movie will be as successful. The movie stars a big-name cast, led by George Clooney, Tilda Swinton, Frances McDormand, Brad Pitt, and John Malkovich. Most of these characters are interrelated, and they engage in all sorts of unsavory activities, some of which is darkly amusing. In fact, the film in general is more of a black comedy. It's a very complicated sort of film, and a very dark one, and I've personally found a lot of it kind of funny, especially because many of the characters were pretty stupid. Brad Pitt's character, the sunniest and most optimistic character, is pretty much an empty-headed fool who meets a very ironic end, as do many of the characters in the film. Some summary of the plot might be useful to determine if you would want to go and see this. Most of the film revolves around the attempts of a former CIA agent with a bad temper, played by John Malkovich, to write his memoirs after giving up his pension and refusing a demotion. He doesn't realize that his wife, who's played very excellently by Tilda Swinton, is having an affair with the charming but very deceptive U.S. Marshal played by George Clooney, who is married and also has at least another couple of women on the side besides Tilda Swinton's character. He doesn't realize also that his wife, who is an author of children's novels, is also having an affair and is trying to divorce him, just as Tilda Swinton's character is trying to divorce the former CIA agent. Meanwhile, two fairly doofus gym instructors, played by Frances McDormand and Brad Pitt, end up reading these memoirs, which were left in a gym bag, and found an opportunity to blackmail the CIA agent, so that Frances McDormand's character can get some plastic surgery to look more attractive. Now, her boss is in love with her. She doesn't realize it, and she's interested in finding guys that aren't losers, and ends up having a relationship with George Clooney's character, who doesn't. As the film goes on, it gets very dark, sort of themes as in everyone is using everyone else, and it's quite a fascinating detail of low trust society and what happens when people are trying to screw everyone else over without realizing that everyone else is trying to do that to them as well. I thought the film was worthwhile, but probably wouldn't be worth the full price of admission. It's definitely a film that has an acquired taste and may have a very limited market, particularly those who are extremely cynical about society and who are interested in making fun of others, because this film provides a lot of opportunities for that. I'd say overall I give the film 2.5 stars out of 4, and say that if you go in there, it's definitely going to be a cynical and dark humor time, but it's a dark humor that doesn't rise to the levels of Election or some of the other classics of the genre. I guess hopefully if you're a fan of the Coen Brothers, you might enjoy this particular film. It seems to have many of their predilections for high amounts of violence as well as sarcastic humor. So it's a worthwhile film, but not really one of the best films of what has been a surprisingly excellent year by Hollywood standards. This is the first film review of what will hopefully be quite a lot more, so I'll be looking forward to hearing about your comments, and if any of the rest of you saw Burn After Reading, I'd like to hear what you have to think as well. Thanks. Bye.